we're back. Okay, so tools. Let's start with cutting tools. So cutting braided hose sucks. Sorry, that's just the way it is. It sucks. When I started doing race cars and stuff, for a long time, I used the hacksaw method. So you would take the hose, wrap it real tight with electrical tape, and then take your hacksaw and cut through it. Neither hose works well. The braided stainless, it's tough to cut through that stuff. The nylon grabs. If the end of your hose is frayed when you're trying to put it together, that just makes the whole thing that much tougher to do. So that is the toughest method. The most testing method on your patients will be the electrical tape and the hacksaw. I moved away from that a while ago and started using a cutoff disc on a die grinder. It's better. Boy, it's way easier. Still use the tape method to keep the ends from fraying. But you get a lot of rubber residue from the hose. It stinks when you cut through it because it heats up the rubber and it smells. I do worry about things like, I do my best to clean it, but if I don't get all that rubber out of there, what if some of that gets down into an injector or something like that, plugs it up? So this is a much better method for me and for my patients and for the amount of time it takes. Still not perfect. So I finally treated myself just the other week to a new pair of Vibrant hose cutters. And honestly, I haven't even cut a hose with these bad boys yet, but I know they're going to do the job. This is the tool that is meant for the job. So this should cut braided stainless or the nylon quite nicely. I'm going to experiment. Probably put a wrap of tape around it just to keep the ends nice and tight. But I'm really looking forward to using this because I believe this is the answer. So in terms of cutting, that's really the three options that I'm aware of. I don't know what else a guy could do, and this is the answer. For assembling your AN fittings and hoses, aluminum vice jaws, or jaw caps, I should say. These are okay for not marking something up, and they're good in that way. The problem with these is if you try and put any pressure on anything, they are soft enough that it moves around and stuff. Aluminum with magnets work real nice because if you're careful, these are not going to mark up your anodized aluminum fittings. They're going to hold them really well without leaving marks on them. And it's really handy to be able to mount things, different angles. You can run a hose down the center, all kinds of stuff. So definitely I would recommend, and there's lots of different ones available. I don't think it really matters, but I would recommend aluminum jaw caps for doing your AN fittings. For assembling, these guys, cool tools. I can't say enough about this. This thing is a lifesaver. These guys make some great hose tools and stuff. You can look them up online. I'm going to show you how all of this works, but essentially you have these various blocks where you're going to put the nut in here for the AN fitting, sandwich it in there, press the hose in. This is tapered to get the hose into the nut. This has just made life so much easier. So cool tools, really good stuff. Really impressed with their products. The other thing is wrenches. So I have watched some videos on YouTube, and there's a couple guys who say, just use a steel wrench, whatever, right? I'm here to tell you, you should have aluminum wrenches for doing your aluminum fittings. You're going to pay a lot of money for them. You don't want to mark them up. I wouldn't even consider trying to use a steel wrench, and for sure, I'll admit, smooth chrome jaws, yes, you can get away with it when you have to. Flank drive or anything like that, Snap-on's flank drive, what does Mac call theirs, Mac Edge or something like that? Any of those that have those relief cuts in the jaw to move the pressure further down the flank of the nut, they work awesome for steel. You don't ever want to use them on aluminum because that will chew up your fittings, make them look like crap. You'll wonder why you ever bought them to do that to them. So steel wrenches, not a good idea on aluminum fittings. These are the two wrenches I've been working with for years now on the race car and getting away with on motorcycles. These are both adjustables. This one goes from dash 3 to dash 8. This one goes all the way up to dash 20. Good wrenches, no problem with them or anything, and everything on the race car is so wide open, it's never been an issue. But I'm finding now, trying to get into places on the motorcycles, it's really, really tough with these wrenches. So what I'm going to get myself is some new Vibrant wrenches that are sized. So an actual dash 4 wrench and a dash 6 wrench and a dash 8. They're nice, they're black, they're anodized, they fit, they're smaller. And I don't know that I'm going to go with a full set because I don't know that I need a full set. I know what I use on the race car, but I'm okay there anyway. On motorcycles, it seems to be dash 4 and dash 6. So you know what? Chances are I'm just going to buy myself a dash 4 and a dash 6 to use on the stuff that I'm doing on motorcycles. A caution as well, I said, don't use steel on your aluminum fittings. Really good idea. Please don't let your buddy grab this out of your toolbox and take it to a steel nut. Because equally as bad as marking up your fittings is tearing the crap out of the jaws on your wrench. And whether it's a fixed wrench or whether it's an adjustable, you put this aluminum wrench on steel and you'll mark it up like crazy. And then you wind up with burrs and it's just, yeah. So, voice of experience, hide these in a drawer where nobody goes in your toolbox so that nobody ever takes those to steel fasteners. So in terms of tools, that's pretty much it. The only thing that I am going to get myself, I noticed on Jags, they have a real cool pressure test kit. So it's got some AN fittings and like Schrader valves or something, and you can use your tire inflator to put pressure onto your hose and see how it is. As I said before, you know, a dash 6 hose and fitting, I've seen 250 psi, I've seen 500 psi. So really anything north of 250 is more than you're ever going to need on a motorcycle, I believe. So no issue there. Don't need to worry about big pressures. However, even a fuel line, it would be nice to be able to put 50 pounds on that thing after you have it assembled and just make sure that it's not leaking air. If it's not leaking air, it's not going to leak fuel. So you'd be good. I've never had a problem. I've never had a bad hose, but you know what? Small investment to make sure that they're good. That concludes our discussion about all of this stuff. Again, remember Hot Rod Hippie, Jegs video, Vibrant for their website. Really, really good stuff. Please, if you have any comments for me, if you've done some cool stuff with fittings that you want to share with me in the comments, please do. Love to hear from you. If I have said anything here that you know is incorrect, please correct me. I don't have a problem with that. I don't know everything. Matter of fact, I don't know a lot, but I'm willing to share what I think I do know. So if you need to correct me. If you have questions, if I don't have an answer, I'll sure try and find one for you. So for now, that's it. We're going to start making lines for the Sportster here this week. So stand by for a new video. We'll put some braided hose and some fittings together. All right, thanks for watching.